Our podcasting system is set up and ready to record. It's time to dig a little deeper in how to make the most of your podcasting kit. There is a large record button that is used when you are ready to record your podcast. One press will commence recording. A short press of this during recording will pause or resume the recording. A 2 to 3 second hold of the record button will stop the recording. This will record straight to your SD card in the RØDECaster. The physical fader will manage the output volume for each of the individual audio inputs. For each input sound, there is a listen button coloured green. This will allow the main user wearing headphones connected to output number 1 to listen to this channel only. All other users will continue to hear all active channels. This won't affect the final recording, just the monitoring audio for the producer. Each input also has a mute button coloured red. This will mute only the sound incoming from this channel. All others will remain live. This muting action will be reflected in recordings and to any users wearing headphones. You will notice 8 large coloured squares to the right of the device. Each represent a pre-recorded and installed sound effect. There are multiple pages of sound effects which can be found using the navigational arrows. To manage or add sound effects, simply hit the settings cog on the display panel and select Smart Pads. Each of the 5 physical faders will have an indicator light which matches the headphone turnstiles. When this indicator is pressed, it will show you individual settings for each input. By default, each of the individual microphone settings will be set to dynamic and will provide the ideal decibel level. This is the location to further tweak each of your individual inputs if desired. The RØDECaster has 5 physical sliding faders, but also contains 3 virtual faders, which can be controlled by the rotary encoder. The rotary encoder is the large knob located next to the display panel. This is done by pressing it down to move between the virtual faders. Turning it up and down will move the virtual faders up and down. The rotary encoder can also be used to aid with navigation and adjustments of settings through the turning of the knob. The RØDECaster Pro has a show library. All of your settings, including channel setup, mixer, and smart pad configuration and effects, can be saved as a personalised show to the micro SD card that is installed into the device. To do this, you simply select Export in the show menu. You can have multiple show settings saved so that you can alternate between other creators easily. To access your recordings from a podcast, simply hit the settings cog on the display panel and select the option called Show. In here, you can replay recordings, conduct basic trims to captures, or delete recordings. To export your recordings, simply connect the RØDECaster Pro to the Windows device using the USB-C cable. The RØDECaster can connect to different devices via Bluetooth to create an additional audio input to enhance your podcast. Within Settings, select the tile called System, then Bluetooth. When a Bluetooth device is connected, its volume and input can also be controlled by the Bluetooth sliding fader. This is useful for phone interviews, to the podcast, or utilising any audio on a device, as the audio will play through the system and be included in the recording as a high-quality sound. At times, you may notice that the settings have been changed and you might be unsure how to resolve this. A great starting point is to power off the device. Turn all faders and volume knobs to low. Unplug the microphone and headphones. Repower the device and begin your initial setup again. If this fails to correct the settings, you can perform a device reset. This will wipe all current settings and return to default factory settings. This is done by navigating through the settings cog to the information tile and then the View Device Information option. Performing a reset will require a process of working through setup steps and potentially the need to connect to Wi-Fi to update the firmware. You will find lots more support resources on all things STEM at the stem.t4l Learning Library and on our YouTube channel. Visit t4l.link/STEM. We'd love to hear about how you and other staff or students are using this kit in your school. Join the conversation with other teachers like you in the Facebook group or on the Viva Engage community to receive support directly from the team. Just search for stem.t4l.